Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. In this video we're going to be looking at Brad Vickers, the helicopter pilot from Resident Evil, and why I believe he is not, that's right, not the chicken heart he's become named for. But first, if this is your first time to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring the bell so you know when I'm next uploading. Now, on with the video. Brad Vickers is known as the Coward, or Chicken Heart of Resident Evil, tarnished with this name for over 20 years by his actions in Resident Evil 1 and 3. Today I would like to defend Mr. Vickers and show the world, or at least a few people that might watch this, that Brad is the true hero of Resident Evil and deserves the same level of respect that his teammates Chris, Jill and Barry receive. His story was slightly changed in the recent remake of Resident Evil 3, so we'll start with the originals as this is what cemented his legacy for over 20 years. If you've only ever played the 2019 and the 2020 versions of Resident Evil 2 and 3, there's a wonderful website called the Seamless HD Project. I'll pop a link in the description. I believe it is the best way to experience the original games, and this story of Brad is based on that version. In 1996, the world was introduced to survival horror when Resident Evil, or Biohazard in Japan, was released. A video game set in the mansion with a mystery to solve and, some zombies. As a member of the Special Tactics and Rescue Service, STARS, you had to find out what was going on and try to escape what could only be described as a nightmare. It's here that Brad's story starts. STARS' Bravo team had been dispatched to the Arklay Mountains after reports of bizarre murders had taken place. They were to investigate the area and report back. When radio contact was lost, STARS' Alpha team went to look for them. Brad Vickers had been recruited into STARS not long after its founding as Alpha team's pilot, and he flew Alpha team to the last known position of Bravo team. He landed, and the team were attacked. Confusion and panic set in, and Brad flies away without his teammates. It is here that one single line shouted from STARS team member Chris Redfield that was set in motion the reputation of Brad the Coward. Chris shouts, "No! Don't go!" as the helicopter disappears into the night sky. Why he thought Brad could hear him over the noise of the engine, the blades, the headset, the fact that he's half a mile in the sky already is way beyond me, but he does anyway. So let's have a look at the situation from another perspective. Imagine you're Brad. It is the dead of night, no pun intended, and you're flying around looking for Bravo team. You see the helicopter wreckage and you land near it. The adrenaline starts to kick in. As the ground team start investigating the area, they are suddenly attacked and Joseph is killed. Seeing that your team is cut off and getting back to you, you have two options. 1. Stay put, try to take on the dog yourself against overwhelming odds and the high risk of the helicopter being damaged like Bravo teams. Option 2. Take to the sky and try to find a place to pick up your team. After all, there is 4 of them and only 1 of you. It's this option 2 that Brad chose. And if you think about it, it's the most sensible option in the circumstances. If the helicopter had been damaged, the team would never have escaped. We know Brad didn't abandon his teammates, as when the player is heading towards the guardhouse they pick up this radio call from him.
This is Brad. Come in, STARS Alpha team. Come in.
This is Jill.
Does anybody hear me?
I hear you, Brad. Over.
STARS Alpha team. Bravo team. It doesn't matter. Respond. I repeat, this is Brad.
Brad? Brad!
This is Brad. If you can't answer me, somehow give me a sign.
Jill to Brad. Can you hear me? Brad! Brad! Shit. It's broken.
From the air, he would have seen that there was a mansion and probably known that they would have taken shelter there. Brad stays in the air until the last minute, advising his team the fuel is running low.
This is Brad. I'm running out of fuel. If there's anyone alive, contact me now or just give me a sign. I repeat, this is your last chance.
When the team is fighting an unwinnable battle against an 8-foot tyrant, it is Brad that drops down the rocket launcher to save the day. One line. No, don't go. No! Don't go! If Chris had shouted, "Take to the air, give us support," it would have been a completely different story. In the 2002 remake, it is slightly changed of what Chris says and it does make a little bit more sense. Here, have a listen.
Hey! Brad! Where the hell's he going?
Looking at Resident Evil 3, his actions are deemed to be that of a coward. We first see Brad bursting out the storeroom being chased by about 4 zombies. When the player catches up with him, he's panicking and it doesn't make much sense. He is very cryptic about the monster chasing them. The final time we see Brad, he is caught up with Jill, the member of STARS and the playable character from the first game, and he's killed by Nemesis, an unstoppable bioweapon designed to hunt down and kill its targets, and in this case, the STARS team members. As Brad is panicking and doesn't make much sense, he comes across as being that coward. But yet again, if we break down the circumstances, you can see in fact he is being a hero. You have to remember, Brad didn't venture into the mansion and see the zombies, so when Raccoon City changed into the Night of the Living Dead, he, as I'm sure you would be, was very scared about his wits to see dead people walking and trying to eat people. I mean, dead people walking. Dead people. If you've never seen this in your life, it is going to be something that is confusing and scary at the same time. Chris, Jill and Barry had already experienced this, so they're going to be a little bit more hardened to it. The storeroom he breaks out of contains a shotgun, so it's clear that he was trying to get more weapons to fight back. Being overwhelmed can take a lot out of you, and when the player meets up with them at Bar Jack's, you can see that the events are starting to take a toll on him. But Brad still tries to warn Jill about Nemesis. But how do you explain something like that when you've never seen something like that? It would be like trying to explain colour to someone without eyes. Brad may have left in a hurry, but he knows he can't stay still for too long. And yet he doesn't leave the city. He doesn't try and just abandon everybody like a coward and leave. What he does do is he catches up with Jill to warn her again about Nemesis and that Nemesis is right behind her. He's come up with a plan, but he only gets to say, "Jill, we've got to," before he is killed. In fact, if you watch this clip, it is Jill who freezes in the moment.
Jill!
Brad!
We've got to... Jill! Help! No!
And she doesn't do anything to help Brad, even when he calls out for it. Brad Vickers saved the survivors of the mansion and tried to save Jill against overwhelming odds in Raccoon City. Now, if we fast forward to 2020 version of Resident Evil 3, it appears Brad now knows taking to the sky in the helicopter wasn't his best move, as he states this.
Run for it!
Come on, Jill! We know how this ends!
No, I don't.
Are we still a team?
Always.
Then do me a favor. Don't fuck up like I did. Go!
This version of Brad, in my eyes, is more in line with the legacy of being the coward. However, this version has been based on the original, and if the original has been misinterpreted, then this version will ultimately be flawed from the start. Either way, Brad died in Raccoon City. But did he die the hero, or is he still the coward? Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you like the content and wish to support the channel, please check out the links to the Patreon, the affiliates, and as I always say, the best way to help out is by subscribing and liking. And as always, thank you for watching.